dear students, warmly welcome to Ideal and Others Educational Institutions. It my pleasure to see the online class Economics Unit 3, Lesson Food Security and Nutrition. Already we learned about food security, basic components of food and nutrition security, availability and access to food grains, maximum support price. Okay, now we discuss about public distribution system, National Food Security Act, biometric smart family cards, National Food Security Act in Tamil Nadu, role of consumer cooperatives in food security, factors affecting purchasing power. Okay, first one, the public distribution system. What is meant by the public distribution system? I mean, given the unequal distribution of income and the level of poverty that persists in Indian economy, the government took steps to distribute the food grains at subsidies rate through the public distribution system. It is known as the public distribution system. I mean, given the unequal distribution of income and the level of poverty that persists in Indian economy, the government took steps to distribute food grains at subsidy rates through the public distribution system. The nature, scope, the functioning of PDS varies from state to state. While Tamil Nadu has adopted an universal PDS, the rest of states in India had a targeted BDS. Under universal BDS, all the family ration card holders are entitled to the supply from BDS. In the largest BDS, the beneficiaries are identified based on certain criteria, given their entitlement, leaving out the rest. Both the union and state government subsidies, the supplies distributed through the BDS. The level and quantum of subsidy also varied across states. Okay. The National Food Security Act was passed in the Indian Parliament in 2013. The National Food Security Act was passed by the Indian Parliament 2013. The National Food Security Act covers 50% of urban householders and 75% of the rural households. These householders are known as priority households. I mean, the National Food Security Act covers the 50% of urban households and 75% of the rural households. These households are known as priority households, identified based on a set of criteria. The priority households of this country now have the right to food supplied through the BDS. The union government supply rice at the rate of rupees 3 rupees per kg, wheat at the rate of 2 rupees per kg, and millets at the rate of 1 rupee. The Tamil Nadu continued to have the universal system of BDS and supplies rice at free of cost to all cards holder. I mean, Tamil Nadu continued to have the universal system of PDS and supplies rice at free of cost to all card holders. Okay, next, biometric smart family cards. The government of Tamil Nadu has declared the smart family cards will be issued in the lieu in exercising family cards. It has also been mentioned that the Director of Census Operations under the National Population Registry is conducting biometric capturing of 10 fingerprint, 2 iris and face scan of citizens to issue unique identification number. After completion of the process of biometric capturing, it has been processed to adopt this data to issue the biometric smart family cards. The advantage is the since it is based on unique identifier, the data duplication of members and focus cards can be eliminated. Okay, next National Food Security Act in Tamil Nadu. On 1st November 2016, Tamil Nadu became the last state in the country to implement the National Food Security Act after holding out of 3 years. In a government order issued on 27th October, the state specified that while it was enforcing the law, it would be modifying its provisions when the National Food Security Act of Tamil Nadu passed 27th October 2016. The National Food Security Act in Tamil Nadu passed 27th October 2016. Okay, next role of consumer cooperatives in food security. The consumer cooperatives play an important role in the supply of quality goods at responsible rate to common people. There is a 3-tier structure of consumer cooperative societies in India. They are primary consumer cooperative societies, and second, central consumer cooperative stores. Third one, the state level consumer federation. More than 50,000 village level societies are engaged in the distribution of consumer goods in rural areas. There are many benefits to consumer cooperatives such as health care and insurance, householding and etc. This scheme is playing important role in food security in India, for example, out of all fair. Next, buffer stocks. What is meant by buffer stock? The buffer stock is the stock of food grains. What is meant by buffer stock? The buffer stock is the stock of food grains, namely wheat and rice, and procured by the government through the Food Corporation of India. The Food Corporation of India purchases the wheat and rice from the farmers in the states where there is surplus production. The Food Corporation of India purchases wheat and rice from the farmers in states where there is surplus production. The farmers are paid a pre-announced price for their crops. This price is called the minimum support price. The minimum support price is declared by the government every year before the sowing this season to provide the incentives to farmers for raising the production of these crops. I mean, the MSP, the minimum support price, is declared by the government every year before the sowing this season to provide incentives to farmers for raising their production of these crops. The purchased food grains are stored in the granaries of government. The buffer stock is done to distribute food grains in the deficit areas and among the poorest strata of the society at a price lower than the market price, also known as the issue price. This is also help to resolve the problem of shortage of food during the adverse weather condition or during the period of calamity. Next one, fair price shop. At present, 33,222 fair price shops are serving. The 1.98 crore families out of 33,222 fair price shops, 31,232 are run by the cooperative societies. 1,394 are run by the Tamil Nadu Civil Supply Corporation and 596 are run by Women Self-Help Group. 31,232 are run by the cooperative societies, 1,394 are run by the Tamil Nadu Civil Supply Corporation and 596 are run by the Women Self-Help Group. To improve the accessibility of BDS, it is necessary that they are located in close proximity to the habitations. Accordingly, it has been proposed to open new fair price shop so that no card holders walks more than 1.5 kilometers. Next heading, the purchasing power. Purchasing power is the factors affecting purchasing power. The overpopulation, it is also affect the purchasing power. The population growth rate in India is high as 1.7 per thousand. The large population lead to increasing demand, but supply was not equal to the demand. So the normal price level will be going on higher. So it affects the purchasing power, especially in rural population. Next factors, increasing prices of essential goods. Even though there have been steady increase in the price of essential goods, the continuous rise in the price erode the purchasing power and adversely affect the poor people. There have been steadily increase in the prices of essential goods. The continuous rise in the price erodes the purchasing power and adversely affect the poor people. During the 2015-16, an average rate of 2% flood inflation, the price of pulses rose by about 40%. Next factor, demand for goods. When demand for goods increase, the price of goods increase, then the purchasing power is affected. Next factor, the price of goods affect the value of currency. When the price increases, the purchasing power decreases, and finally the value of currency decreases. When the price increases, the purchasing power decreases, and finally the value of currency decreases. Next factors, the production and supply of goods. The production and supply of goods decline, the price of goods increases, then the purchasing power is affected. Next factors, poverty and inequality. There exists a huge economic disparity in the Indian economy. The proportion of income and assets owned by top 10% of the Indian. There exists a huge economic disparity in the Indian economy. The proportion of income and assets owned by top 10 of Indian goes on increasing. This has led to an increase in poverty level in the society. Generally, the purchasing power is affected by poverty and unequal distribution of wealth also. The purchasing power affects every aspect of economics, from the consumers buying goods to investors and stock price to country's economic prosperity, as such as country's government institution policies and regulations to protect a currency's purchasing power and keep an economy healthy. One method to monitor purchasing power is through the consumer price index. These factors are affecting the purchasing power. I mean, the 6 factors are affecting purchasing power. They are overpopulation, increasing price of essential goods, demand for goods, price of goods affect the value of currency, production and supply of goods, and poverty and inequality. These are affecting the purchasing power. Okay. Next, the purchasing power parity. The purchasing power parity can be used to compare the country's income level and other relevant economic data concerning the cost of living or the possible rate of inflation and deflation. Recently, India became the third largest economy in terms of purchasing power parity. China became the largest economy, they purchasing the US to the second position. Which country is India became the third largest economy in the purchasing power parity. China became the largest purchasing power parity in the world level. USA second, China first, USA second, India is the third largest purchasing power parity in the world. Okay, thank you watching for